5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for
David Wright.
David Wright.
David.
Very good afternoon and welcome to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. Big thank you to John Alex there for keeping us entertained this afternoon. Thank you, John. Have a great weekend. Loads more tips and advice coming up on the show today about living and working in Spain. Got some new rules and regulations out for this summer if you're thinking about going to the beach. Cyclists, new rules as well, and renting property out. Some rules and regulations that might be of interest to you. That's all coming up on the show today. And some great music as well. Bit of jailhouse rock there from Elvis Presley.
The afternoon show.
The comment section is open. Chat live to the DJ right now via our website.
And here he is, the legendary David Wright.
So a bit of a special day today, 6th of June, D-Day 1944, commemorations. Allied forces landed in Normandy on this day today. At the end of World War II, or the beginning of the end of World War II, there ended about 6 months later. 156,000 troops landed in the French coast there on this day in 1944, and 12,000 planes crossed the channel there, dropping bombs, ammunitions, and God knows what else. And there was 10,000 casualties in the first day alone there. So that's the 6th of June, D-Day. And my father was there as well. He was in a Lancaster bomber, 19 years of age, flying over there, and he was dropping bombs on the French coast there on the 6th of June. So yeah, we need to remember these people, the heroes that made it all possible for us to be living a life of freedom at the moment. So yeah, 6th of June, D-Day, so remember that one. You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. Beautiful, sunny, warm day out there. Good afternoon, Carol. Join us in the comment section. John Alex as well. The comments is open. It's rebooted. Come and say hi. Come and keep me company this afternoon. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. I won't be able to go in the pool this weekend, believe it or not. I've got a few stitches. I had another operation this week to remove another cancer, which they needed to cut out on the side of my nose. So, yeah, I've got a plaster on there at the moment, and got to have the stitches out in about 5 days time. I'll tell you a bit more about that a little bit later on after a little bit of So yeah, hospitals here in Spain, absolutely amazing. I've had some fantastic treatment over the years here, and my wife as well. A couple of years ago, she had a major hip replacement, and the treatment was amazing. So yeah, this week I had to go in for a little surgery. Got 3 stitches in the side of my nose to remove a cancer. I had one last year as well, taking out my back. This is a bit of an occupational hazard here in Spain, working outside. You know, I do put sun cream on. I do try and be careful, but you know, it's part and parcel of the weather and working outside here in Spain. But yeah, the hospital's fantastic. I was waiting for it's just funny because somebody said to me I was lucky to get it done so quickly, but is it luck or is it who you get to know? I got to know some people some time ago and got some good friends here. I've got 3 nurse friends that work in different hospitals here, and they've become very good friends of mine. And also one of my wife's friends works at a hospital in the reception area doing the bookings and stuff like that. So when I had my appointment due, I was waiting for the appointment for my back operation, and that came through pretty quickly because it was quite urgent. The one on the side of my nose wasn't so urgent, but they said it'd be about 3 months before the operation, and it was getting a bit itchy and things like that. So I just thought I'd like to get it over and done with. So spoke to a friend that works at a reception now, He had a word with one of the surgeons, and the next day they called me in and I got it done straight away. And it's like going into a private hospital here. The hospital in Retamar where I went was absolutely amazing, very, very clean, very new and modern, and in and out in about 20 minutes, and didn't have to wait at all. I was straight in, surgery straight away. Very good. And yes, I got to wait, I think it's about 6-7 days to have my stitches out. But the hospitals here, I can't go on about these enough. That absolute amazement, the treatment. And now I've been paying into the system here when I've been self-employed, and also my wife's paying into it as well. And remember, if one of you are paying into the social security here in Spain, then all of your family that live with you in that house are covered the social security here, so you get the treatment. And when you need an operation here, there is normally a waiting list, but I suppose it's who you get to know. And is it luck, or is it that, I put myself in these positions to get to know lots of people here and be friendly with lots of Spanish people over the years, and it's paid back a little bit in dividends. So I've got my appointment quite quickly and got the operation done and dusted and out of the way. But the treatments here, I know some British people are a bit worried about going to the hospitals here. The language barrier and things can be a problem, but there's always people to help you, interpreters and things like that. But the hospitals that I've been to here, and I've had a few operations now. I cut my hand badly years ago, and I've had eye surgery, and now 2 other surgeries as well. And all of the treatments I've had here, and the aftercare as well, has been amazing here in Spain. Really, really has been great. And so I can't praise it enough. I have had some treatment years ago in the UK. And all I remember in the UK was how old and antiquated the hospitals were and how long everything takes. And I know my mum is in the UK and she's still waiting for an operation on her hand. She's been waiting about 8 months now, and it's not been good at all there. And I think she's had the operation on her hand. It's eye operation. Sorry, she's waiting for an eye operation, and just wait and wait and wait, and it's terrible. But here in Spain, not bad at all, or at least I've found it to be very, very good indeed. So what's your experiences on Spanish hospitals?
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
So some rules and regulations if you're out and about on the beach this summer, and some cyclist rules and regulations, and renting your property out. That's all coming up after this. You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. So, talking a little bit about hospitals today, and I'm going to have my stitches out. Well, I'm not going to have my stitches out. I'm having one of my Spanish friends do it. She's a nurse here, so she's going to come to my house and do that when it's time for having that. So, it's the treatment I've been getting has been amazing over the years, 23 years here now, and it has been amazing. And also with my wife as well, she had a broke her hip and a thigh bone, and had to have a whole hip replacement and a pin put in and screws and God knows what else last year. So she had a fantastic treatment, and it's also the aftercare treatment as well is very, very good. Now the only thing I will say is that if you go to a therapist afterwards, you need physio or anything like that, there is quite a long waiting list for that. And it was my wife's leg, we had to wait. It was going to be about 3 months for the physio, so we didn't bother to wait for that. We went and paid privately. Now it's not expensive, it's only €30 a session, and it was well worth doing that because the physiotherapy made a big difference. And my wife is walking and running and biking and doing just about everything she was before, with no problems at all. So the aftercare, things like that, might be a little bit slow if you need the appointments and stuff, but the actual hospital treatment, the doctors and the surgeons are fantastic. And talking about the surgeons, when I had my eyes operated on, I had about 8 years ago, I had lenses put inside my eyes. It's not laser surgery, it was to stop wearing glasses and get rid of cataracts. And this is a hospital here in Almeria, and the surgeon that did my eye operation, he was actually trained in Chichester and spoke very, very good English. So there's nothing to worry about at all. The hospitals here, I have 100% confidence in them, and the treatment has been amazing. Something I heard a little while ago as well, it might be of interest to British people. If you need an operation or you've got something wrong with you, and for example, I know somebody that had an accident and they broke their shoulder, and they went into the hospital and went to see a doctor and everything, and they said that they needed an operation, but because they were living here in Spain, they had their own insurance and everything, they were going to have to go through the insurance, but the insurance wasn't going to cover the operation that they needed, so they ended up going back to the UK and having it done there. Otherwise it's going to be about 14,000 euros for the operation. Now, I was talking to a doctor the other day, and he said that if the person has got called an ambulance and they go through as an emergency, they bypass that procedure and they would go straight in and they would have the operation there and then. So something to think about, rather than just walk in as a patient. If it's an emergency, then there's a little bit different treatment. But obviously it's only if it's an emergency, I suppose.
The Afternoon Show.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
Very good afternoon to Maria and Rita Grange. Join us in the comment section. Okay, so no barbecues on the beach there. That's quite an obvious one, really, I suppose, but there's an exception. 23rd of June, it's the San Juan Fiesta here in Andalusia. This is when they have, like, I suppose it's like the Guy Fawkes night. There's all the barbecues and bonfires on the beach, massive bonfires all along the coast in Andalusia. This is to commemorate the San Juan Fiesta. I think it's the summer solstice, the longest night, believe it or not, 23rd of June. And you can have barbecues. People go down on the beach and they stay there all night. Loads of partying going on. There's no fireworks of such, but if you haven't checked it out, then you do need to go down to the beaches here in Andalusia around the 23rd, the night of the 23rd. Around 7 o'clock, you will see people building a massive big bonfires with pallets and things like that. And it is a great family atmosphere to go and do with that one. Yeah, that's 23rd of June, the San Juan. That's the only time you're allowed to have barbecues on the beach. No smoking on a lot of the Spanish beaches now. This is quite being enforced quite strictly, especially down in this part of Almeria. I've seen they've got these like wardens with these jackets on, going around checking out people. Now, I know lots of Spanish people do still smoke, but there is no smoking on the beaches. You can get fined for that. And no dogs on the beaches as well. This is normally in high season. That's from May to October. Now, there are some dedicated dog-friendly beaches, but in the high season, most of these beaches will be closed off to dogs, so no dogs. Be careful of that one. There is big fines. Also, no reserving of sunbeds. Now, there's people you used to go and put in their sunbeds, the towels on the sunbeds, things like that. If there's sunbeds near you where you are, there's no reserving of sunbeds. Now, Spain's getting very strict on that, rightly too, in my book. And also, if you've got a beach umbrella and a deck chair and you leave it on the beach while you go and have lunch or you go off for a little while, you're not allowed to reserve that spot. You have to take all your stuff with you. You can't leave it there. Lifeguards are now being given permissions to confiscate stuff if people have left it there and they're not using that spot on the beach. So be aware of some of these rules and regulations in Spain. There's some new changes this summer. Bit of Sade there, and your love is king. Now, Spanish pensioners will receive an extra month's payment in their June payment this month. So, yeah, the Spanish Social Security here tries to look after its pensioners. So, if you've got a Spanish pension, you'll get an extra month here with your June payment. Now, also, if you work for a government here in Spain, any government official jobs at all, you get extra payment in July and also an extra month's salary in December as well. So the Spanish social security system do look after their pensioners, and the government workers do get extra pay as well. So that's quite handy for living. Also, if you're a pensioner in Spain, you're drawing a pension here in Spain, pensionable age, you get subsidised holidays here in Spain. Now, what they do is they normally give you options of going to stay in some hotels. This was originally to keep the hotels open throughout the year, and so Spanish pensioners do get some really good deals. Now, I know my wife's cousins are going to Roquetas de Mar next week for a week, and they're paying about half the price, and they've got half board and drinks and everything included, so they've got a really good deal. There's 18 of them going, actually, the whole family's going, but the pensioners get these deals here in Spain. And this is not just the Spanish pensioners. If you're a British pensioner here in Spain, if you've been paying into the system at all, look into it. There's more information on this for pensioners and these discounts on holidays here over on my information page.
You're listening to The Right Way with David Wright in the afternoon on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. The comment section is open, so come say hi to David right now.
So more rules and regulations in Spain. So remember, it's a summer and no walking around the town in swimwear. Now you can get fined €300. You need to put a shirt on. You need to put something over your swimwear. This is mostly in the north of Spain, Barcelona and up that way. But this has become a law in lots of places now here in Spain. So be aware of that. Also pub crawls. They're cramping down on pub crawls. So this is groups of people mainly. Again, this is in Barcelona area, but it's coming out in other areas of Spain as well. I think they're doing it in Malaga as well. So you can't go from pub to pub and in groups of lads, groups of anybody. They're cutting down on this. They don't want rowdy hooligans, that sort of thing. So be careful if you're out. People still do it. I'm sure they will do it here on holiday this time of year, but just be on the lookout for that. It's not allowed to do that now. Also, the other one is renting your property out here in Spain. There is new rules and regulations out this year. So if you're renting your property out, you need to go and get a license from the local town hall. And if you don't get a license and you're renting your property out, there is a €40,000 fine. Now, these licenses aren't very expensive and some of them are free as well. We has up for rent on July and August this year, and our license was free at the local town hall here in the local community buildings, council buildings, whatever you want to call it. So go and get these licenses if you can. There are lots of places now they're getting if you want to rent out, the councils are vetting the places and they're making it very difficult for renting out now. So just be on the lookout for that. There's some new rules and regulations for what you can and can't do as far as renting your property out here in Spain. If you do it on the quiet, thinking you might not get caught, you only need one little complaint or a neighbour to put you in the what's it, and you can get a €40,000 fine. So go and ask first. I've got some more information again about this over on my information page. Yeah, somebody said to me the other day about the noise here as well, and they're in a village where they've got some loud music. This is summer coming, people making a lot of noise and that. And I'll tell you where the rules vary a little bit here in Spain, but if there's loud music and you can complain about it, if it's after 12 o'clock, then you can call the local authorities, you can call the police, and they can put a stop to it if it's after 12 o'clock at night. We had this a little while ago, and there was a neighbour up the road. He had a bit of a party going on, and there was a load of youngsters, and it was pretty loud music. We did ask him to turn it down, which he did, and then about 12:30, it was in a weekday as well. This was in a weekday, somebody's birthday party. 12:30, they were playing this loud music, and it just got louder and louder. And so we called their local security. We've got a private security where we are at the moment, and they called the police, and the police came around and they shut it down straight away. So yeah, if it's after 12 o'clock, you can complain about it, but up to 12 o'clock, the summer here in Spain, there's not much you can do about this loud music. You can also go to your local police station and put a denuncia on people, but that takes a little bit of time. Every time you do complain, the police do follow it up, but it's normally about the next day, so that's not much good if it's loud music that night. But you can call the police after 12 o'clock and they can put a stop to the music here in Spain. REO Speedwagon there, keep on loving you. Okay, so I just had my insurance in for my new motorbike. I paid it because I was transferred over from the old motorbike to the new one, and it's now just been taken out for the whole year, fully comprehensive. Now I'm paying €600. I think it's pretty steep. I've shopped around, I can't get any better. If anyone got any ideas of a motorbike insurance, is something I haven't been able to get quoted. I want fully comprehensive. Here in Spain, third party means third party, remember, is not fire and theft like the UK. So I wanted it to be covered if it was stolen or anything like that. So I really wanted it as it's a new motorbike, fully comprehensive. So if you've got any ideas on motorbike insurance, then please let me know in the comments, or you can send me an email. The details are in the comment section. That's david@almeriaradio.live, david@almeriaradio.live for motorbike insurance. That's something I'm a bit lost at the moment. I've got some car insurance, but motorbikes here in Spain are a little bit harder to get onto. Jonas Brothers there and Waffle House. Well, that's about it for another show. Thanks very much for joining me, and stay tuned. It's the 5 o'clock hit mix with Rob Mack next, and have a great weekend, and thank you everyone that's commented on my shows. I appreciate it. See you later.
That's all, folks.